Hello everyone. Today we're going to create this amazing mobile application using a React Native CLI. As you see, that will be our intro page because it will be an e-commerce website. So first intro is just focusing to grab the customer. So now here is a button which is saying that get started. Once you click on the get started, as you see, it will immediately taking us to the home page where we are showing the loader, and then we are showing the slider where actually we can showcase our products. Then we're rendering all of our products. I didn't customize here for the categories and other filtering because it's just showing you how you can initialize that application and get the data from the API. As you see, there's a lot of products and it's actually coming with the lazy loading. So once it's coming in the view, you can see the product is just coming with all together, just having 4 or 5 important things. One is the image and it's new or not, then the title and the price, then add to cart button. So if I click on a single product, so let's go to the down of that, so that's the finish line. So if I click on a single product, it's taking me to that a single product details page with coming with the title, and we are having a separate header. So now we have the image, we have the similar description, the title, description, brand, category, and how much money we are saving. So we are saving 130 from this product, and from here also I can make that add to cart. If I click add to cart, as you see, immediately I'm showing one this toast message where actually forecasting that is added to the cart. If I just go back to the home page, and also I edit as many product if I want, okay, add some more and add more. So let's go back to the cart. Let's see what are the scenario, and you can actually toggle through from here in that door navigation, which actually we are going to implement. We are going to have the door, we can directly go from the door to the cart, and also if we just roll back to the home page, we can also go back from the home page. Now here in the card we have the similar effects. I have the image, title, and also by like the brand, and then I can increase the quantity from here, and once I increase the quantity, as you see, it's reflecting with my proper integration here, so it's aligned with the prices. Now this is happening with the Redux toolkit, and we're going to use that persist with async hook. So async storage we're gonna use, so to manage the storage in our mobile application. So here, as you see, also I can delete that product. If I delete, okay, one gone. So now if I roll back to the bottom, I have subtotal amount here, total amount, subtotal amount without the discount, then I have the discount applied, and then the total amount. So I can roll back to the proceed to checkout. If I click, as you see, please logging to initialize the checkout. I'm not logged in, and there is another message with saying logging feature is on progress, please wait. So now we are going to complete on that project. Of course it will be the first one, part 1, and in our next part what we're gonna do, we're gonna finish the successful user create, from the user create to update, and also we will create that successful payment authentication using a Stripe payment. So that will be coming at the next part. So this part we're going to manage with the state, and also the managing how we can fetching the data, how we can implement all these good blending features using here. Now what will happen if I have no product in the cart? If I click, you see, boom, so your cart is empty. You can just go back to shopping. If I go back to shopping, it's just coming with that home page. So now there is some more screen where actually you can work with. There is address screen, you can put your address, and also you can a contact screen which you can modify that one, and this bar is only available in the home. So from the home I can go anywhere I want, but from the other page I need to roll back to the home, then can go with there. So now there will be no bottom tab navigation because that is coming with the dual navigation. So if you are willing to have a bottom tab navigation, just let me know in the comments below, then we're gonna implement here also in this product in the second part. And please do subscribe and like this video if you feel that's really helping you. So today we are going to build this from the scratch. Now I'm just taking already the copies of the photos so I can actually put the references. So let's start building it. And for building this project, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open one of my empty folder, which the build folder I created. Now here I will open my terminal. So today what we're gonna do, we're gonna use that React Native command line. And I know it's in your mind, why not using expo? But trust me, everything at the end of the day going to pass through the React Native CLI. So it's better to having understanding that React Native. Don't worry, there will be a lots of other videos where I'm gonna use the expo, because expo is very lightweight and very handy, easy way to go. But today we're gonna use that React Native one. And to implement that React Native one, which I recommend you better go to the React Native documentation. The link, it will be in the description. You better go there and learn a lot about it. But today, just stay with me, you'll be good to go. So I will write one command which gonna create my project, which is npx react native. And from here I want the it will be the latest one. I want the latest build, and of course I want in it, and then I'm gonna give the name. So let's just Badger Pro YT for YouTube. So now I will hit enter. So now that's gonna be create a React Native project in my directory, which I open here, the build folder. Now here is the turn. It's gonna take a bit of time because it's gonna download the template and lots of properties it's gonna feature configure. So just sit tight, take your coffee, be relaxed until it's just getting done. Now here I love really one thing from the React Native community. As you see, you can get each and everything when the functionality is triggered. You see the downloading the template, copying the template, installing dependencies, so everything coming side by side. So by reading it, you're gonna have a better understanding. So now let's see, if I put ls, let's see where we are. Yeah, we have been created a Badger Pro YT. Also, if we roll back to our here, as you see, that application is created. That's a lot of things, and we are going to use the TypeScript, of course, because by default it's just coming with the TypeScript. So now let me open it in my command line. So let's go cd Badger Pro YT. Either you can okay, cd Badger YT. So oops, it will be Pro YT. Okay, so either you can go cd from here, or also you can do one thing, you can just drag and drop that one in your VS Code Studio also, or you can go inside that, and from here you can just directly roll back to I think there will be show more options, and then you can open it with your code editor. But for me, what I love to go with that from the command line. So let's go, I'm gonna open it with that code dot within my code editor. So it's already open here. So now that is my directory line here. I have the test, I have the bundle, Android, iOS and Node modules, and it's using the yarn log, so I can start it with using yarn. So now there will be a fundamental thing, but customizing and implementing that Gradle things, and also for the other possibilities where actually you can tip off regarding that build, which is setting your environment. I again recommend you go to React Native documentation, do all the steps had been shown there, and it will be just fine. Don't get panic whenever you are building a React Native application. The best thing you need, that is sustainability, that you can stay, you know, don't give up, stay, keep trying, and it will be okay. Just you need to read each and every single things very carefully. So what I need to do here, everything going to be start from this app.tsx file, which I have been actually it will be the root file, just starting up, and the root file is the index.js. So everything going to be just starting from here, but the journey which actually we will take, it's from that app.tsx. okay, so that will be our first file once we run that project in our simulator. So already my simulator is configured, so I don't need to open that Android Studio because it's already aligned with that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna open my terminal, and from the terminal I will take the git bash again. So now here I can run the initial command or yarn Android. So it's gonna execute the command. You see that React Native run Android, so it's going to be executed, and now there will be two things going to be open. You need to be open. First one, which actually is running beforehand, what is for my simulator, and the next one is the metro. Okay, so the metro bundler, it's responsible to run that application in our simulator, and for the environment setup you need to make it, and if you can do as your own, let me know in the comments below. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna create a separate video where actually I'm gonna just integrate that one, how you can set up your environment. But if you have it already, feel free just to go with me. And once again, it will take a bit of time to installing your app in the simulator, and also it's gonna be aligned with the network dependencies. So don't worry if it's not happening on the first try it again, try to clear the cache and then try again, it will be just fine. So just give it a time. It's just installing the app right now. Okay, things are firing. It's already installed and now it's bundling here, as you see. So I think very soon we're gonna see our first startup project. Let's roll back here. And by the way, we are not going to using any of the CSS framework, not like what I love most is using the native Vim, but for this project we're gonna use that bare React Native CLI, so no need any other properties. So here is our initial intro, the project. So step one, and you see that things running from here. So first thing first, we need to actually modify that file and create our own file the way we are actually looking for. And how we gonna do that? So the first thing first, I'm gonna remove so many things from here. So that is my section data, and first change which actually I love to do is that one, and here I'm gonna make it as const. Okay, and then from here, from the scroll view to status bar, I'm gonna remove everything. I'm gonna take a view and I'm gonna take a text. So now if you're familiar with the div and p tag in that web development, that's just the same thing. You can use the view as a div and you can use the text as a p tag. So there is no h1 h2, there is a simple text element, and you can write and you can design. The main thing is that you need to design a lot, you need to write a lot of CSS, but that will save you the purpose. So this is our first line in Badger Pro YT. Let's hit the save. And as you see, this is our first line in Badger YT is already appeared. So now let's see what all the things I may not require. So I'm gonna remove that as the style background. I will not keep anything here which going to be coming by default. Okay, and I'm gonna remove my entire section and also this one. Okay, let's remove that. Okay, and also this one. Okay, so this is the first line. This is the first line and first thing which I have been created. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a source folder, which I love to do is to minimize the tension from the project. So because there is a lot of other directory, you know, the Android, the iOS, because that's the build from the iOS, and if you are running that project from that iOS simulator from the Xcode, go to the cd into the iOS folder, then do pod install. Okay, otherwise it will not run, it gonna give an effect on that. Just simply what you need to do, I'll just show you. From in the command line, you just need to go inside that iOS directory and then you need to write that pod install. So then it will be fine. So the pod, it will be installed and then you can run all other things as the way I am showing here. So that will be okay, and you need to run that command yarn iOS, not Android, so it will start running, spinning in that iOS timeline. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, in that source folder I will take another directory which going to be my screens. So here it gonna be screens, then also I'm gonna take another folder which I'm gonna put that my components. So two are both separate way. I can separate my component, I can separate my screens, but both way it's the same thing. I'm just creating a separate components, that's it. So now first thing first, I need to create that first initial page, that intro. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just do one more things before we start. I will create one assets folder, and here in that asset folder what I would love to do is to take my previously used images, which actually I'm gonna share the drive link in the description so you can have all of that images. Okay, I'll just grab those image. Okay, so that will be the image properties for me. So here you can see the banner image, the intro image, all the image is available here. So let's keep it. So now in that screen I'm gonna open a new file, not the open, I will create a new file, which it will be intro.tsx. because we are using the TypeScript, we will use that tsx formation. So now you can just create a function here to just implement that, which actually going to be const, it will be intro. So the function name intro, because I will create an arrow function, then I can return, so it will be just simply a view and the text which will return that intro. And of course I need to import that one, which I didn't do it, so it will be that intro. And I can also make that export default intro. So now that's the bare minimum thing, but you know, we have a little bit a trick with that RNFE. It will create a React Native functional component, and to run that one, what you need to do to install that ES7 plus React Redux React Native snippets, so you can create that easy thing. So every time without creating that, just run RNFE, then it will create your thing. So that is the thing. The first thing, I will not create any of the routing setup now. So what I will do on here, I will just simply make that intro to be appeared. So as you see, my intro on the top. And by the way, in our intro there is no header, nothing, just having an image and other things. So let's start doing that. So we are in the intro. Now here what I will do, not the class name, I always just tend to go with the Tailwind. We can write inline CSS here. Okay, so let's go background color, which actually we can give the black, and also height, we can give height. And actually instead of giving the 100%, we have one properties here, which actually we can get the height, and it will be from the dimension, which we need to import from the React Native, and .get we will get that window. Okay, so now that height, it will be that window height, so the entire height. If I save, as you see, my entire screen is getting black. Just to show the text, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just also add a style, so it will be the color. I will just keep that white. Okay, just to show that color is here. Okay, so now it's not a good practice to write the inline CSS, because it's whenever you're going to implementing the logic, it will be very difficult to read. So for the readability issues, we will not keep that CSS inline, but maybe in my project, in 1, 2 or several components, I will keep it inline just to go faster way. But for you, what I recommend, always tend to do it in a separate way. Like you can declare a variable here, so it will be styles. It depends on whatever you want to. You can keep any name here, but styles is the best practice. It's actually going with this standard. So now that style, I'm gonna take that style sheet from React Native. As you see, I'm importing those things, otherwise it will collapse. Okay, so now that variable taken another things, which actually coming with a function .create, and this will be an object. So now there I will just give a CSS name. Remember the way we used to do it in the web or in the SaaS, the same procedure it will be happening here. So what I will do, I will just cut that and then I will paste it here. And now I'm not writing an inline, so there will no need to be happening two, like the pair of curly braces. It will be a single curly braces, and from that object I will just type the container. And you see the same thing. If I just make that color change white, you see that's just changing like that way. Okay, so now I have the container, and now I need to integrate with that image thing. So for the image, what I love to do also in the assets, I have my all images. Here what I will do, I will take one more file here, which going to be index.ts. that is just to be render the image here. So let's go import. I will get that logo, and it will be from it will be from logo.png. okay, so now there will be one of the issue what actually we're gonna facing here, that relative issue, so that we will fix. But first I will take all the properties which actually I need to import. So that will be my all of the image properties, and also I'm gonna export that all. First it will be that logo, intro, and the other properties which going to be intro 2, 3. Maybe I don't need that all of the things, but keep it in mind. Okay, so I have the image. So let's just read what actually is showing here, that cannot find module intro3 .jpg. So all the things it will be same thing, cannot find module. And to let the module work, what I'm gonna do in that source folder, so see, that's my parent folder. So in the source folder I will create one file which going to be React app, and then I'm gonna make that env.d.ts, and here I'm gonna declare the relative path. So it will be declare module, and then it gonna coming up with an extric.png. So I'm gonna declare all the module which I'm gonna implement here. So I'm gonna replace with that module, as you see, module png, spg, jpg, and .jpg. okay, so now here okay, what's wrong here? Logo.png, I think what I did wrong, oh, not the comma, it will be clone. Okay, oops, the clone. Okay, so now as you see, my error has been gone and it will not appear again, I think so. So let's go back here. We need to work with our intro. So that's the file you need to add. Whenever you are using that relative path, you need to declare the module, what kind of images you are going to use. Now in the React Native, everything a very strict type definition you need to provide, because you're using TypeScript, and for this streamline you need to go a lot of precaution whenever you are just throwing something. You cannot just individually go with that, you need to go one by one in the streamline. So now let's roll back to the intro. And here what I will do, in there will be two portions actually. I'm gonna remove the text. So one, it will be for, I will just put that top part, and another it will be bottom. So what actually it's gonna be, in the top part it will be the image, so it will take the half of the width, half of the height, and then the text it will take the half of the height. So that's the way we need to combine. So that will be the top part, and I will keep a view on here. So the view, and that view it will take one image. Now you may tend to use the libraries. There are several good libraries to using the images, but again what I recommend for the beginner, as I'm learning also, to use as much native things as possible. Also import that one from the React Native, you see that image. So now what actually I need to provide here, first thing first, I need to provide a source here, source, and which I'm gonna pass that intro image, which actually I'm importing from the assets. So that's the intro, and also I will put an alternative tag which is going to be intro image. If I save, I will see nothing appear. Oh, that is appearing an image already here, but that's not the way it's supposed to look. And how actually we can make it done? So first thing first, we will take one of that, it will be top, and another it will be another CSS, it will be intro img. So that's two properties we're gonna implement here. If I just make a little bit shrink here, okay, so you can see CSS here, you can see the view here. So now I may not be strict to that particular split up for all the things. I will go through the inline, but for you better you use that the way it is possible. So it will be styles dot top, and this image also we're gonna provide a style, it will be style dot intro image. Okay, so that's the two variable. And for the top, what actually I would love to do is that I will give a height, and that height it will be height by 2, so it will take half of the height. And then width, I will give 100% of width, okay, and then ln items, it will be center, and justify content also it will be center. And by default the React Native is taking the flex pattern, and by default is actually flex column portion. Whenever you want to create it in other way, you need to make it in like the flex row portion. So that's my image. So now let's roll back the image and make it a little bit better. So I will give that width for the parent width, whatever the width the parent has, and also height, I'll give the height of whatever the height the parent has. And also I will make that object fit properties which going to be contain, okay. And then I will make that margin top which going to be of -10. If I save, you see that's my image, but still it's not looks like that because there is no padding going on where I need to use the padding. So here in the top layer I'm gonna use that padding of 30. Okay, that looks cool. So that's the way we're gonna implement the CSS, and also you're gonna implement the other properties here. So now what actually we have been done, we did that first part. So now it's going to be the second part which actually going to be in that bottom part. So here it will be that view, and in the view I'm gonna take a text component, and in the text component let's put that great way to lift your style. Okay, so of course you will not see that. So first we need to rejoin that property. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take that bottom, title, subtitle, button, and button text. So that will be my CSS properties here. So I'm gonna popping that properties. So this will be okay, whenever I'm implementing I'm gonna explain what I did. So that will be my bottom. So let's go in the bottom, put a style, and it will be styles dot bottom. If I save, so in the bottom what we did, it's a flex 1 padding 30. The similar of that we can give a height of half, but we just make it flex available height, it will just take align center. That's it. So that's the first one. So now in the text, that will be our title text. So the style, it will be styles dot title. And what we did in the title, we make the color white, font size 36, font weight 700, and text align center. And also I'm gonna use another properties which I really love to do, because without declaring the CSS, the colors, everything here, we can declare it from one file. So whenever we are changing that color, we can just estimate it to change on that particular file, then it's gonna reflect everywhere. Otherwise if we do it from here, it's difficult to track all the properties. So I will go in the source folder, I will make one constants, and here I'm gonna keep all my color properties. So index.ts, and here I'm gonna make that export const, and it will be colors. So that colors, we're gonna just inject the colors we are going to use. There is a bg color, default white. See, that's the white I'm providing, but it's a default white. If I want to change the ratio, like I want a 50% opacity from all the white colors, I just need to change here. Doesn't matter if I used in 40 or 50 components. The reflection, it will be only here, and it will affect all the properties. So from here, instead of that color, we can just put that colors dot default white. So now why we did that, just trust me what actually I have been said. If I want 50% opacity in the color, you see it will reflect here. It's a white, so it will not reflect, it's reflecting actually. So if I make 10, you can see that it's reflecting, but it's in the white, so maybe it not go in that way, but other colors also it gonna come with up. So now as you see, this is actually gonna work if we are doing in that way. So that's my default white. And now what we need to do to engage the other properties, so that's the first one. Instead of writing that, I can just copy that layer, and I will just go with that subtitle properties, and here I will change that text. Okay, I will just, okay, good. So in the text, what was the text here? It's that complete your style with awesome collections from Badger. Okay, so it will be complete your style with awesome collections from Badger shop. Okay, that's the second line. And also in that subtitle we did a minimal work, which is actually default color, text center, margin top. And now we need to implement one button. So now here there is several things. We can use button using the pressable and also using the touchable opacity. So first I will use the touchable opacity, because that way I can show you is actually touching or not. So in the text it will be get started. Okay, so of course you will not see that right now. So in that button it will be the style, and that styles dot button. So what's the style we have been provided here? Background we're giving white, width of 100%, height 50, border radius 50, align item center, justify center, margin top 20. So as you see, that's appearing. Now there is another button text we need to implement there. So let's go back in the button text. So it will be styles dot button text. Okay, as you see, text is changed. Now here we have been giving the dark color. You can also provide, remember we have that color, so you can make that text black. Okay, so now you can change it from there. So now there is a things of that what you can call like that center align or other things. You can do it as the way it make flexible for you, and also in whenever you are using that iOS devices it will reflect also. Now that button is clickable, so once I click I want to go to my home page. So let's go and create one home page where actually we can moving on whenever anyone actually clicked. So to implement that, again let's roll back to my screen and I will give that home.tsx. It will be home.tsx rnfe. So that's the home here. So now we have the home, right? But normal way, whenever we are developing one of that like the website, like web development, we are just usually if it is having the Next.js, just putting a link parameter and routing setup is done, or in that vid we are setting up the route. Same way we need to set up that navigation parameter here. So we are using the React Native, so once we click we need to navigate that one to our home page, home screen. So for that one we need to use that React navigation to complete that navigation. So let's go read the docs again. Feel free to read each and everything. So getting started, what I need, that's the installation flag. So I'm using here, so I will just copy that. That's the install the require package in your React Native project. So that's my project running here in that terminal. Okay, let's make it bigger, and that's the second terminal here. I'm gonna install that, and there is a lot of setup is going on. And after installing that, installing dependency, that's for the Expo March project, and I'm using the bare React Native project. So it will be that one, that React Native screens, React Native shape area context. Also I need to install. Okay, let's go one by one, and now install that one. And after that, you see there is saying npx pod install. So again you can do it npx pod install iOS, or you can just roll back to the iOS directory the way I have been showing you. Then you can just create pod install, it will install the pod. Okay, so now there's the Java and Kotlin. So I think that's not mandatory right now because the main activity actually handling it by default. So okay, and wrapping that navigation. Okay, so create a hello React navigation. Let's go. I think we need to also putting that navigation is stack. So I will copy that, I will install that stack parameter. And that navigator we will create, we'll just hold on that, we'll go with all together and moving between screens. Okay, and then we will use another which is actually for that door navigation. Let's roll back in the door navigation, and for the door navigation what we need is that okay, where is the installation process? Okay, React Native door, not here, here the installation instruction. Okay, so we are using yarn, we need to install this one. Okay, install that. And after that, okay, for you need to install the configure the libraries for the door navigation. For export that, and for the bear we need to install this one. Okay, let's installed. Okay, now we will run that command. We are installing React Native gesture handler and React Native reanimated. So that's the two properties, and what actually is showing, the drawer supports both reanimated 1 and the latest version. Okay, and go with that installation guide. Let's see what actually they are saying. And to implement that, yeah, we install that. Okay, done. So in the plugin, you see the bubble config.js. In the plugins, we need to use this one. Okay, so I will copy that. Let's go back in our project properties, and where is the bubble config.js? This one. So here there is no plugins right now, so I will just use that plugins, and here it will be an array, and in the array, okay, in the array we're gonna pass that properties, which going to be React Native reanimated plugin. Okay, if we do that, I think that will be fine. That's one we will do it. And also one more thing, to finalize the installation, we need to copy that. And what I love to put it in that is that inside in our, I think the app will save the purpose, or we can go with that index.js maybe. Let's roll back here. Okay, we will do it, but first thing first, let's see what actually is showing. Undefined, okay, resolve the module, or so many other properties. Okay, let's go back here. So we did a lot of installations. So what I recommend you, and also for the gesture handler, we can actually paste it here if we are using the gesture handler. So what I recommend you, after doing all other things, just go to that here, not this one, I think. Okay, that's the one, and go in the metro. Just close the metro. Okay, close the metro, and also it's already closed from here. And the best thing is that what I really love is that minimize that app, and here that's the Badger Pro YT. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna uninstall that one, or you can remove the caching things and other. So, and also I will run one more command, which yarn, and it will be clean. Actually, without not doing that, what I'm gonna do is to run the way they say it. So that will be the okay, yarn. Okay, receipt catches it gonna be implemented. So let's see. Receipt and clean, it will I think it will have the same purpose. So clean caches. So what it gonna do, it gonna clean the cache and revalidate everything. Now I'm gonna make that yarn Android. So again, it's gonna start the app, but this time I believe everything is going to fine. Then it will run the application. Then we can actually create that our first ever stack navigation. Okay, so just give it the time to install and run it. Okay, every application is run actually, and there can be a little bit of error you can get, because you see the meaning of that, it's not the plugins, it will be just plugins. So that's the one you need to be careful. Okay, so just be careful with the name, put it using as plugins, otherwise it will just give a headache. Okay, so now we're gonna create that navigation parameter. So I will just close all other things, and here I'm gonna create another folder where actually I'm gonna put all of the navigation parameter things. It's better to separate it with a folder structure so you can easily navigate through. So here I'm gonna just make that one as stack navigation.tsx. okay, so rnf. So now here it gonna create that navigation parameter. So now I'm gonna create those things which actually gonna be responsible to create that navigation params. So first thing first, I need to create a root stack. So it will be root stack, and that root stack I'm gonna make that a create native I think native stack navigator. That's the one I'm gonna use. And here instead of that view, I'm gonna remove that. Here I'm gonna put that root stack dot navigator. And again, what I'm just referring you, everything I'm just getting it from here. Okay, so if you just go back here, you're gonna find each and everything. So don't worry, I'm not making anything from my side, it's all over here. Okay, so thus it will be the first parameter, and here it will be that root stack dot not the group, I'm gonna give that screen name. Okay, so that will be the first string. Okay, it will be a self-closing parameter, and that to screen we need to make that name, which actually be, you need to toggle that name, it should be similar, because that's the name whenever we're gonna navigate, that's the navigation parameter going to be using with that particular name. So also we need to pass that component where actually it will be our intro, screen intro, and here also we're gonna pass an options because we don't want to show the header shown. So we're gonna make that the default header, because we're gonna create our own header, the header shown, it will be false. And in the navigator parameter we need to also make an initial route name. So the initial route name we will put that as intro. Okay, intro. So now that's our thing. So first, so that's the first route. Again, I will just copy that. The second route we will take it from the home, and also we will provide the name, which I love most to give the same name as the screen, so it will be our home, the second route. So if I make that initial route parameter that home, let's see if we can having our route parameter, just reloading from the metro, and use and let's see what is actually happening. Is it taking that one? No. Okay, I think some caching issue might collapse. Okay, anyway, we will see it right now actually how the things is happening. So let's go back to our intro parameter. So we will go to intro, and from the intro what we're gonna define is here whenever we're gonna on press on that particular touchable opacity. So first we need to import that navigation, so it will be navigation from use navigation, and by default the types I'm gonna put it any, later on we're gonna pass all the types parameter. So what we will say it here, that's the one. So now here is no on click event, here it will be on press event. Okay, so we will make that navigation dot navigate, and it will navigate to our home. So let's see if we click. Okay, what actually is saying here, did we open the right one? It's refreshing. Okay, just give it a time. Okay, what's that? Cannot find a navigation object, is your component inside navigation container? Okay, because it's not finding that navigation container, because we need to inject, we created that navigation, you see, we created, but there will be several properties. Okay, first thing first, if we see the image, that is our home, is the intro, and here we are using the drawer navigation, and also we are having that navigation. So what we did is, the first thing we implemented our stack navigation. So now what I'm gonna do also, I'm gonna create a drawer navigation parameter where actually we're gonna declare the drawer, and then we're gonna pass that everything in our root directory, so sorry, the root file. So here it will be drawer navigation.tsx. okay, the drawer navigation. Don't worry about the error, you can just simply go with that. Okay, where's actually is showing error. Okay, I'll roll back through, couldn't find a navigation. Okay, we'll dismiss that one, just keep it that way because the navigation is not created yet. So for the drawer navigation also the same way, we need to make that const, it will be the drawer stack, and here it will be that create drawer navigation, and of course don't forget to import that one from that React navigation drawer, everything you need to import. Okay, so this is the view I'm gonna remove, and here it will be that drawer stack dot navigator, so that's the root parameter, and here drawer stack dot screen should be provided, and that screen we will give that name as that of let's put that stack screens, and for the component we'll make that stack navigation. And also for the options, there is a default header which actually we're gonna remove from here. So it will be header shown, it will be false. And of course we need to pass a parameter here which actually we're gonna implement as the side menu. So it will be side menu.tsx rnfe. So that's the side menu we're gonna provide to generate this particular tab. So there will be a menu I'm gonna show you later on. So now for the side menu, it will be that doer content which actually going to be a function, and it will integrate with that side menu. Okay, so now we have been created that doer navigation. So what we need to do, everything we need to inject in the app, in the root route. So let's go in the app, and inside the app what I'm gonna do, not in that app, top layer of the app, I'm going to declare another which going to be root content. Okay, and that will be simply as an arrow function. Here what I'm going to return is that it will be from that navigation container. Okay, don't forget to import again, that's the navigation container, and inside the navigation container I will pass that doer navigation. Yeah, okay, did I get that one? Yes, so that's the doer navigation I'm passing here. So now what actually it gonna do, I'm gonna having all my navigation stack in the doer. So instead of that safe area, inside that safe area view and other things, I no need to have that. What I'm gonna put that as the root content, save it. So now what we will do, we just did that configured with that root navigation. So if we just roll back here, and you maybe need to just inject also the other parameter, you need to remove the cache because we did a lot of things. So we need to remove the cache and then restart again. That's the pain whenever you are developing in that React Native applications, because you change a minor things, you need to roll back and then you need to go with that. And also what we will do, from the app info we will remove the caching, whatever the app is holding here within that simulator. So let's go back to the storage, and in the storage we will clear all the storage. Okay, and from the terminal again here and write. Okay, let's go back again, give a little bit time to start that one. Okay, I think it's good to go. Now if you done that, and okay, we are seeing the home because I believe in this tag, yeah, we set it as home. Let's just roll back to intro, and after roll backing you just need to reload your metro, and then I believe you'll go to intro. Okay, and now here, okay, so I'm gonna close all other files. Okay, and let's roll back to intro. So if I now click on that, you see we are roll backing to home. Now that's the worst part of to configure that. Maybe you will get some error or some other things. So best thing is that to run some command. So if you are facing some error, you can just do that npm start and reset cache that flag. So it will just remove all other properties and reinstall everything. I think then it will be just simply fine. Okay, so don't worry about this, it will be fine. So now we're having that. So first thing first, I want to work a bit in the home. Okay, so on that we can actually go through and make things clearly done. So let's make it small and roll back into the home. And in the home what we need to do is that to create a header. Okay, to create a header, let's go back to the header, and in that components I will create a file which will be header.tsx rnfe. So here we're gonna declare the header. So in that header we're gonna keep everything inside that safe area view. Okay, and here it will be okay, it's a React Native safe area view, or actually without getting that one, I will take that particular safe area view from that simple parameter and I'm gonna remove this one. Okay, So now it will be a view, and here it gonna be just, I'm putting a text right now. It will be demo, just to see the header. Okay, let's go back to the home, and if instead of getting that, I will just pass that header. Okay, so it will be header. Okay, you can pass a home header or other properties. So now what we need to do is that to use that icons. Okay, so also I need to install one more packages which actually gonna be responsible to give me that icons, which it will be that React Native hero icons. So I will just make that yarn add React Native hero icons. So that's the simple utilities library where actually I can use that icons. I really personally love that one. It's easy to use and simple to configure. So in that icon, okay, that's my first view. And again, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna get all the CSS properties which actually I have been predefined, actually is created. So I will just take the CSS properties and I'm gonna explain what actually I'm creating. So in that parameter, I will get that bars 4 icon. Or I can actually popping that icon. Actually I need two icon. So what actually we are creating this portion, this header. Okay, so that will be that 2 icon. So it will be the bars 4 icon first. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, where is my app? Okay, bars 4 icon, and of course you will get that properties. So what I really recommend you, if you are having the same way with me, better again remove your macro, the same things which we have been done, remove that and then run that command again. So it gonna install everything. That's the problem. If your memory issue or some other issue that can cause some problem, just run it again and it will just take the things from the start. Okay, this time I want to run it as on Android, so I will just press A and it's just going to be open within the Android. So don't be freak out right now, because that's the problem whenever you are developing with the React Native. For the configuration, for the state management, you need to give a lot of time to include so many properties. If you can do it once at a time, it will be just fine. Okay, again it's bundling. So I know it's taking a bit of time to explaining, and actually without doing less work, we are actually configuring a lot of time. That's what's happening whenever you are creating a React Native application. But once the configure is done at a time, trust me, it will be as simple as it is to deploy that or development that one. Okay, I think one more things actually we can do is that in the header, okay, that's the bar icon. So what we can do, we can make that we will make preset of color. I think React Native hero icons outline, so it's not getting that one. I believe that's the problem. Okay, response. Okay, so let's close it again and rerun again. Sometimes it will give you the error is supposed it never should be. Okay, let's just debug that. Okay, in the documentation they refer also to use the 2 separate line, which is here on add React Native hero icons, React Native SVG. So you forget to get that SVG, so I think that will be fine right now because we are installing that SVG again. So after doing that, again you need to follow through with that procedure again. You know, need to make that bundle running and everything need to set up again. So let's reload and let's see if this time, okay, color. Okay, now I'm getting the property actually. So it will be that colors dot what of the colors we can give, we'll give that black color, so it will be text black. And also we're gonna give a fill, which it will be also colors dot text black. And then we will provide the size, and that size we will pass that as 20. And again, for sure what you need to do is that remove that things, and again running that similar command which we have been did. So we need to do it. Okay, just try it again. I think this time it will be fine. Okay, application is run. Let's try again this time. As you see, icon is here. So that's what I'm saying, sometimes it's just unbearable, but it's just simple as it is. It will just give you that much headache, but it will be just fine. Okay, now I need to make that icon as pressable. You can use that either touchable opacity or other pressable, both way it will be fine. So that is one. So that's the view what actually we're gonna put it as the container. So it will be style, and that will be styles dot container. So what actually we are having in the container, we make it a flex direction row. What I told you by default is the flex column for the React Native. You need to make it a flex row. I make the align item center is space between, so aligning all together in a separate horizon. You see that one, and this one should be 3 separate way. And the other properties, so hit save. You see, just give a border bottom. So now one pressable here, and then another pressable need to be go there, which going to be coming up with the image. And of course that image, it's not the React Native SVG image. Oops, I will just get that again. So that image need to be coming from that React Native image. Okay, that's the one. So that image also, the source, I will just put that source as the logo, which going to become from my index, and alternative it will be that logo icon. And style it will be styles dot logo. That's it. You see the logo justify between, so means it's coming on that. So we need to get another one parameter, then it's done. Also it will be pressable, and here we will make that shopping cart icon, and that icon it will take a 2 parameter. First the color, so it will be that colors dot text black, and also the size, we will give a size of 22. You see, we are having our icon. And now we will take another parameter, which actually going to be, I will just make the view, and I will make the text by default, I will keep it as 0. So in that view style, we're gonna put a style, and that style going to be styles dot cart count. So in the cart count, what actually we are showing here, that cart count going to be this parameter. I'm just making it absolute, and of course in the parent I will make it as relative, so giving a background black, right 4, and just to the top parameters, you see, to keep it there. And also this parameter I can pass it in the top. Even I'm not passing, it will just be fine, but it's better to implement that. So it will be cart icon. Okay, so now in the text parameter, which going to be style, should be styles dot, it will be that cart text. Okay, and in the cart text again the same parameter, making the color of white. So instead of that white, we can make that default white, font size 10, and the font weight of 700. So now here there need to create some other parameter, which going to be a navigation, and by default I will make that any, just to go out of the error. So here we will making the 3 navigation. The first navigation, so it will be that on press. Okay, on press. The first one, it will be navigation dot navigate, not navigate, it will be navigation dot open drawer. So first one, it will open the drawer. How? If we click, you see that side menu is coming up from the drawer. So that's the first one. And the second one, what it's gonna do is that it will just make that navigation dot navigate. We will just coming up on the home parameter from there. And the last one also, it will make that one on press function, and that function it will make us to navigation dot navigate. It will take us to the cart parameter. Okay, so that's the 2. If we just click on the cart, of course the navigation parameter is not yet done, so it will not give us that. So let's go to our stack navigation. Let's see how many how many screen actually we are going to have. So okay, I'm gonna streak that. So in the screen I will take another file, and in that file I will create another called the cart.tsx rnafe. So that's the cart, and after the cart we will take another file which going to be product details.tsx rnafe. So this will be my product details page, and then another screen, it will be that addresses.tsx. I'm just creating all this screen, then I will also create the routing, then I will go to build another portion. So the contact.tsx, so that will be my contact screen, and also last one, it will be checkout.tsx rnfe. Okay, so now I am having all the parameter. So now I will go to this stack navigation, and I'm gonna just copy several times. So that's my intro, that's my home. After the home, I will make that card, I will import that, I will just replace the name with the card, and after home it will be product details and the similar parameter of the product details, and below that addresses. Okay, roll back to addresses, and then it will be that contact. Okay, so the contact, and after that it will be that checkout. Okay, so that one not needed. Okay, so now I'm having all the parameter. Let's close all and let's go to our intro. Okay, intro. So remember, we are putting one that navigation, which actually we are giving any. So whenever we are using any, as you see, we are having that string, so it's not assignable in the parameter. So we need to define the type parameter for that navigation screens. And to implement that one, I will just go to root of my project and then type.ts, which will be a separate file in the root. Here I need to define that type parameter. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna define that export type. It will be root stack param list. So that will be the first parameter. So I will define all the parameters. So I have home, I have intro, I have card, I have checkout. So that's my screens actually I have. And also I will make that export type, which actually it will be that navigation props. Okay, so that navigation props, it will take that native, not that native, so it will be, yeah, native stack. Okay, why I'm not getting that? So it will be native stack navigation prop, I believe. Native stack navigation prop, not the config. It will be that prop. Okay, so that's the one I will get, native stack navigation prop. And that prop, I will pass that my root stack, which actually we have been created, the root stack param list. So that's the one I'm gonna pass it here. Okay, now what it gonna do, whenever I'm gonna using that navigation props, like that's the navigation props I'm gonna use here. So it will be that navigation props, and I will import it from my type. So now what it will happen, so this in the navigation, I will just gonna get my screen. So I will see whatever screen is available. So there is two more things happening. It's a very minimizing that error prone. That's the beauty of using the TypeScript. So now I can easily toggle through. So if I just roll back my first screen, let's go back to, I will just make reload, and we are in the first screen, of course, get started. So in the home, I think that's just simple way to make it done. So we are in the home. So now let's finish all other properties for the home. Let's go back to the home, and we are having the header. So after having the header, we need to get the products, and to getting the products, I have one website here from where actually we're getting the products here, which going to be the JSON server. So from the JSON server, we are going to use that Amazon Pro products. So that's the URL we're gonna use, that jsonserver.reactbd.com/Amazon Pro. So from here we're gonna fetch the product. So let's go back to our application. We are going to fetch the products right now. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make several things. First thing first, we are going to make that let's make that const products array set products array. So there will be several properties, so I will just popping things up, which going to be of course I need to I need to get my useStat hook to be imported. So the products array, which is going to be the set products array, and the set refreshing is loading. Okay, so now what it's going to be happen, I will create a function to get my data. So how we gonna do that? So it will be const get data, or you can make it a fetch data because it's a get request, so I'll put that the get data. So that function, I will make it a assign function because I'm gonna connect with a server, so I need to, it can be waiting of some others. So I'm gonna make a try catch here. Okay, try catch. So in the catch, I will just make that, I'll just get that error to be reported. And in the try function, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make that set is loading should be true right now, and here const response, it will be await. I will use that built-in fetch method from that React Native CLI. So I'm gonna get my link here, so that will be my link. And here what I'm gonna do is that const, I'll just make it a JSON. Okay, so it will be await. You can make it inline, but I love to make it with a constant way, and you will find the same thing whenever you're gonna look back to the documentation. So if I make a log of that to see, and it will be that JSON data. Okay, so now still I will not see anything here in my console. So if I just roll back to the console, you will see nothing here yet because we didn't call that function. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a use effect, and inside that use effect we'll put an empty array here, and I'm gonna call that get data. Save that, and you see that product is popping up. Now you can run the flipper, you can run to see the things on that how you can set up the debugging mode. So for me, I will use that command line to create the debugging setup. So for right now, see, I can see the ID, brand, and other properties. So if you're having trouble to setting up the debugger, just let me know in the comments below, then I will also popping that up, creating another video how you can set the debugger through the React Native CLI. And also please to like and share this video and subscribe my channel. So now here what we're gonna do, instead of console logging that one, just simple way, I'm gonna make that set product array should be that one, and set is loading should be false. So whenever I'm getting the data, I'm gonna keep that as false. So now I am having my header, I am having my data properties. So how this is the time to show the data, right? So after that, I will make a view, and then I'm gonna make a flat list, which I'm gonna import from that React Native. Now see, everything I'm using from the React Native itself. Okay, so no other mambo jumbo. Again, I'll go up with my CSS properties, which actually I'm using here. So let's import that, and also one more thing, which going to be is the height. It will be from that dimension dot get window. Okay, what else is okay? Flat list. So in the flat list, how actually we colors also I define here, I need to import. Okay, so in the flat list, how actually we gonna generate? So in the flat list, we need to give the data properties first. So the data, it's going to be the data of that products array. Okay, and the container style, which going to be styles dot container. So in the styles dot container, what we have that background color white. So instead of that static white, we're gonna make that colors dot default white. Did we import that? I believe I import. Okay, so we have the data. We have data. Now what we're gonna pass is that we're gonna pass that the key is extractor. So remember, in the item we have our, so I will just put any right now. So we have our ID, so it will be item underscore ID. I'm gonna property as a key extractor, and now I need to pass that render item, and also I'm gonna pass that refreshing, which going to be oops, it will be refreshing. And on refresh, what I'm gonna do, whenever I'm gonna refresh that one, I'm gonna call a function, and I'm gonna call that get data event whenever I'm gonna refresh. Now I need to pass a render item where I'm gonna show the render value. So how actually I gonna show that? So instead of rendering that data here, I'm gonna render it in the top layer. Okay, so it will be render item, again the arrow function. Okay, so that item, first thing first, I'm gonna just get that item right now, and for right now I will just pass any. I'm gonna type define the type here, don't worry. So here I'm gonna just return some parameter, so return, and it will be that touchable opacity, and here I'm gonna just get a text. It will be products will go here. Okay, so that render item I will pass here in that render item. Okay, if I save, I believe we're gonna see the products. You see, products will go here, and all the products properties is coming here. So, and also if we refresh, you see that is calling. So now I'm gonna first create two parameters. First thing first, I'm gonna create a loading instance, or yeah, I'm gonna create a loading instance. Actually, how actually we're gonna show that? So in that view, remember that flat list. So I'm gonna just make that if is loading is true, then I'm gonna make that loader. So there will be my loader, and here I'm gonna generate the flat list. So first you see the loader is coming, then the product. So we will create a perfect loader. First let's popping things up with that data. So that's the touchable opacity. I'm gonna give it a style, so the style should be style dot product view. Okay, so that's the style we're gonna use. You see, that's rendering. And also we need to do one thing, we will make it a number of columns of 2. Okay, so it will be 2 column. Once you are doing that, you will get an error as a legitimate error. I will just refresh. Once refresh, that error will evaporate. Okay, let's go back again. Okay, it can be stuck because of that caching properties. You just close the app, and it's because it's a simulator. You can connect your own phone, then you can get more activity here. You see, okay, that looks good. Okay, so now what we are going to generate is that let's go back here. Okay, in the touchable opacity, I'm gonna get an image. So that image going to be that React Native image. And first thing first, this item. Okay, this item we need to declare some properties with that item, otherwise it will not be in that. So let's go in the type, and inside the type we're gonna declare how our properties it will be. So how the product it will be. So export interface, it will be products props. So the product props, I know what are the things it could be there. So in the data structure, it could be a brand string, category string, description will be string, image also the string data is boolean, is it will be the boolean value is new, previous price number, quantity number, title string, and ID of the number. And export interface, it will be the item, and in the item it will be the product props. So that's the product props we are passing as the item. Okay, so now how actually we gonna define that? So instead of any, I'm gonna pass that item. So okay, what's that? Image source, yeah, don't worry, we're gonna copy that. Okay, cannot find item any. Okay, also we need to pass the parameter here, item any. Okay, what's wrong? Let's roll back again. So it's not getting the item parameters. So what we did in the types, Okay, export. So that's the type is getting that product props. We are passing that. Okay, should work. Why is showing the error? Okay, let me just see that. Okay, cannot find the name item. Okay, did I import that? No. Okay, that's the issue. I didn't import it. Okay, let's import. Okay, now in the loader we are having that, but we are not getting the view is supposed to be. Don't worry, we're gonna fix things up one by one. So now in the home, what I'm gonna do is that, or we can go with a slow bit of fashion in the properties in the image. So that's the image. We're gonna give a source of the image, source. So that source going to be URI, and that URI it will be item.image. So that's the URI we are providing that. So now here what I'm gonna do is that alternative it will be product image, and the style it will be styles.img. Okay, I think something we are missing. Okay, let's go back here in the flat list. Actually what we did wrong we need to find. So we are having that. Okay, on refresh render item we are passing that render item. So it's a legit, we are having that render item. Now okay, we are passing that number of columns are 2. Okay, and in the product view, okay, I will just comment that flex view. Let's see. No, what actually is happening? Okay, one more properties, because yeah, that's my bad. Because we are no, it should not be. I think that should okay. Okay, let me just go with that. Let me just remove that product view. Let's see what we are getting. Okay, that's giving some unusual behavior. Okay, so what I will do, number of columns, I'm gonna remove that just to see what actually we are getting. Okay, again the same issue, so I will relaunch my application. Okay, loading. Yeah, image. So now I'm getting my images. So if I make that one done, it should work, because I just make 2 columns and that's it. So it should take this procedure. Okay, whenever I'm making that number of columns 2, it's not getting the properties. Okay, so what's the things can be done? Is loading, or if I make that one flex 1, is it going to be workable? No. Okay, how actually we are showing the product? Yeah, in 2 column ratio. Okay, so first thing first is having a problem. So I will just skip the number of columns 2, and I will see actually why we are seeing that things. First I'm gonna generate my one more properties, which is going to be my carousel. So first thing first, we're gonna generate that carousel, then we're gonna go up with that. And to get that carousel, we need to get one React Native reanimated carousel. So I will just get that package here and add React Native reanimated carousel. So that carousel also going to be implemented in the home, and that will be in the ratio of that list header component. So on that it will be list header component, and inside that component I'm gonna just pass a view parameter. So it will be that view props, and here I'm gonna make that carousel. Okay, make that carousel. So in that carousel, the data is gonna be coming up through an array. So we need to make that data in an arrow shape. So on an arrow shape, so it will be that const images. So I will pass an arrow like the array of images. So it will be that banner 1, and then banner 2, and then banner 3. So that's the 3 images I'm gonna use as my banner. So in the carousel view, I need to inject those things one by one. So we'll go one by one. First thing first, we're gonna make that as loop. Yeah, loop will be OP. Okay, the width it will be I believe one more things I'm missing is that the width, maybe dimension dot width. Yeah, so did I use that anywhere? Not yet, but then why it's just giving me that width? Okay, we'll see. Okay, we're gonna give the width, and also we're gonna pass the height, which is going to be the height of 210. So not that 210. Yeah, we need to pass in the double, okay, double braces. What is said, height is the number, not the height. It should be the style. Yeah, on the style we are passing the height. And of course the autoplay, oops, it will be autoplay, it will be true. And then the parameter, the data, we're gonna pass the data as the images data, which we created that array. And then also we will make that scroll animation duration, which going to be 1000, like means every per millisecond. And we need to pass that render item. So I will just make that inline render item, which going okay, inline render item, which going to be just item. Okay, so now we will just make that return from here, and we're gonna declare a view, and inside the view I'm gonna pass that my image. So that image, the source, it will be that item source. And for the style, I will just get couple of style, which I will just make inline. So the width is going to be the width of the parent width of 100%. The parent is getting the full device width, so that 100% it gonna capture. And then height it going to be 270, and object fit it will be cover. Okay, so let's see if everything going good. We're gonna see a carousel. Okay, that's good. Well, our carousel is working just usual as it should be. So now we are having the carousel, but the problem is if we make the number of columns, we are getting that issue. So let's just fix that, because we need to fix that, otherwise we're gonna having a very big issue here. Okay, also I think I need to clean the cache here, because otherwise I need to just launch it every time. Okay, loading. Yeah, so let's roll back here. Let's see what we can do actually. So in the properties, product view, so in the product view what we did actually, it's a flex. If I remove the flex parameter, is it going to be good? No. Okay, we make the margin, also the other parameters. Let us see. Yeah, the touchable opacity we are passing from the gesture handler. I think that could be causing the issue, because we want to use the React Native proper, which actually going to having the touchable opacity. Now if I save, I think that is causing the issue, because it cannot reading the purpose of how it actually going to be seen. That's the things I believe is happening. Okay, now we are having things is good to go. So what we need to do is that also we need to have that navigation, which going to be use navigation, and of course we will pass that navigation props here, navigation props from the type, so we can connect that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna create it later, or you can just to show you how it will work, we can create that. So whenever we're gonna on press, we will get that parameter, which actually it's gonna be navigation dot navigate, and we want it here to pass it to the product details, and now here we're gonna pass a parameter. That parameter, it will be underscore id, which is going to be item dot id. For that instance, I will not waste time. You can define the parameter of the type, so I will just go with the type any, just to be go with slow. If I go in that particular product, you see the product details page we are getting. So let's go to the product details. So we are coming here, and what I'm gonna do is that we're gonna create another header which actually going to pass the common header. So let's go back to the components. I'm gonna make that common header dot tsx. Okay, rnfe. So that common header, I'm going to be defined that here to how actually the things going to be shown. So the common header, okay, and in the common header I'm gonna pass a title. So that title, it's going to be details. Okay, so now in the common header I'm gonna get that title. So the title, and the title, it will be also that title as a string. Okay, so now how actually we're gonna implement that? Of course, I'm gonna make it a safe area view. Okay, so it will be also import from the React Native. So in the safe area view, I will just popping my styles here, because we will create the similar of the other parameter, and I think I have an image here for that. So it will be, yeah, that's the header we are going to create. Okay, so now to create that one, okay, it will be the safe area view. So now I need to create same way 3 passable parameter. Okay, so the first it will go with that view, and inside that view I will make that passable, and inside that passable I'm gonna make an arrow, I think arrow left icon, maybe arrow left icon. Okay, so in that arrow left icon, passing some the color, so it will be that colors dot text block, and the size, it will be 20. You see, yeah, that's the parameter. And also I'm gonna put a text category, text, and inside the text what I'm gonna do, it will be passing the title which we are passing here. You see the product details title. So in the pressable parameter, what I'm gonna do, giving a style, I'm gonna make it a flex direction of row. Try to keep it in that separate style sheet. I'm just showing that how actually you can define the type. ln item should be center. Okay, and for that particular view, the style should be styles dot container. So in the container, what we are giving, we are making the flex direction the similar which we have been done for the home header, and then the other properties. Okay, so now that's the one pressable, and what it gonna be happen once we create just make that pressable. Of course, we need that navigation, so it will be const navigation, it will be that use navigation, and here we can use that type, the definition which actually we have been given, navigation props. Okay, so here what is gonna be happen once we click that, of course it will give us an on press event. So on press, it will be a navigation dot go back, so it will just go in the back screen. You see, we can go in the back screen. Okay, I will just finish that header, then we will just roll back to other properties. And in the pressable, for the icon, I think for the text parameter also, I'm gonna just roll it back to with that style. So it will be like the color, which is going to be colors dot text block, and also margin left going to be a 5, and font weight, it will be okay, margin left 5, font weight, it would be 600. Okay, so that's the one parameter. Now the other pressable parameter, I believe we are having one pressable in the home, so not the home, I think in the normal header, which where we have been created that. So that's 2 parameter we can just simply copy from here. Okay, I'll just copy and then I will pass it here. Of course I need to get the icon, I need to get that particular image, I need to also import the logo, then I will hit the save, roll back here. Okay, go in same product. You see, if we click, it will take us to the home. Okay, so now it's time to work in that home properties. Okay, so now here how actually we're gonna show the other things. So that's my image view. So after that image view, I'm gonna take another view. So here I'm gonna render the text, and that text, it will generate item dot title. So that will be the for my title text. And also I'm gonna define that style, which going to be styles dot text view. And what's actually happening, I'm just giving a padding here of 10 in the text view. Okay, so now that's text view giving that properties. And after the text view, so let's see what actually we're gonna create. So that's the parameter. Yeah, that one of the for the pricing matter and for one of the icon. So that two things going to be happen right now. So to implement that, that's my title. After the title, I'm gonna take another view parameter, and that view parameter I'm gonna get a text, and here on that dollar sign I'm gonna make that item dot price. Okay, if I keep that, I will be able to see the price, so 1 or 2. So what I'm gonna do, item dot price, and another it will be item dot previous price. So both price I'm having that. So for the first price, put not on the class name, oops, it will be that style. So for the first one, again, font I'm gonna give you width of font weight of 600, and then again the color, which going to be colors dot text black, and then I'm gonna make it the font size of 12. Okay, so that's the first one. And for the previous price, I'm gonna make that style, which also going to be font size of 12. And now I'm gonna make the text decoration line, which going to be line through. Okay, again, what I'm recommending you to just remove that style and keep that style here in that is particular style sheet. Just give a style name, and then you see that's the best way to do it. For me, I'm just consuming the time because I need to show you so many things. I don't want to make it as much long as it unnecessarily. I don't want it to be much longer. So also for this style, I'm gonna make that also flex direction, which is going to be raw. Okay, and I'm gonna make that align items, which going to be center, and then justify content, which going to be space between, and also margin vertical, which going to be 5. Now you can see the margin vertical properties, but now what actually we need to show. Okay, let me see the design again. Okay, no, we are in the wrong side. okay, let me because that's two parameters should be in a separate view. So that's the view, it will align with that. And after that particular view, we need to get our icon. So that icon, it will be that shopping cart icon, and that shopping cart icon, the size we will give it 20, and also the color, which going to be colors dot text black I'm gonna give. Okay, so now we can see the icon. So for that icon, I'm gonna, because I need to click on that icon, so here I'm gonna use that touchable opacity, because I need to show when the opacity, when I'm touching, I need to show the people that how actually is rendering. So here I'm gonna put that style, or let's just popping that things up because it's just a simple CSS. I'm gonna make a background color of the design color, which we are putting as a Yulish colors, margin horizontal 10 and padding 7, vertical 7, and border radius 6. As you see, if I click, it's giving me the card details. So I think pretty much that, or one more thing is there, because if it is new or not, we need to define that. So that's the parameter, that's the badge actually we need to create. So here I'm gonna say if item dot is new, and I'm gonna render one component. So I'm gonna create a component which are going to be the name of the component, it will be is new batch. So is new batch.tsx rnf. Okay, so that's the batch we're gonna call it here. So it will be is new batch. Okay, so right now you see the is new batch is the bottom. So let's go in the is new batch. We're gonna customize that one. So the first thing first, what I'm gonna do is the view. I'm gonna just wrapping that style here. Okay, which going to be coming from the style sheet, and also the colors from the constants. Now here the style should be styles dot container, and also the text, it should be new, and the text, it would be style dot text. Okay, that's the is new. I'm just making positioning the absolute way, and then just some default style for the color combination. So now if everything is looking properly close and much better, so we can see we can do one thing to add it to the cart functionality using the Redux toolkit, which we're gonna do it later on. So now what we need to do, creating that other page which will be the details. So let's go back to our product details. Now here in that particular API, if I go with /1001 to get a single product, you see I can fetch a single product. So in that parameter, I'm gonna just render that product and get the things. Okay, so how we gonna do that? Remember, in the home we are getting one particular parameter. Okay, navigation props not needed. So we are getting a get data function. So that's the same parameter. I'm gonna just copy all and I'm gonna paste it here. Now here I'm gonna get one more thing, is that what is make that product data. Okay, so I'm gonna get a state which actually get the product data. So now let's go that. Okay, and also I will import that product props, and now that should be either a product props, either a product, or it can be null, and is loading. So now here, instead of now, actually what we can do, we can get the route parameter. So remember, in the route I'll just go with the any, and also I need to define that what actually we're gonna get. So in the route we are passing a ID, right? So it will be route dot, it will be params dot underscore ID. So that's the ID actually we are passing. If we go back to the home, and if we're going there, you see in the route we are passing that ID. So that's the ID we are capturing. So that ID should be ID coming from the route.params. So here, instead of this parameter, I'm gonna cut those all, and I'm gonna use that backtick, and then I'm gonna wrap that, and after that I'm gonna passing that ID to get things to be making here, and it will be product data, and then use effect need to implement, and here it will be coming from that ID. Okay, so now if everything good, we're gonna see the product, and product is coming. Don't worry, if you go with that, use your extension flipper or some other, you're gonna get the products. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show something to visualize that that product is coming. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is that let's create a view, and that view I'm gonna make that if product that it will be okay, let's go here, or inside that view I'm gonna get another one view which is going to be for the image. So I'm gonna pass a combination, so it will be product data. So if product data image available, only then I'm gonna show it. So I'm gonna pass an image from that React Native image, and here I'm gonna pass that source which going to be URI, and it will be product data dot it will be dot image. Okay, and for the style, again I'll go with that my style parameter which actually going to be in the below. Okay, so that will be my style parameter, and also I need to pass one width and height, which I'm gonna get from the dimension. Okay, so let's import the dimension. So now in that image, okay, that's the image, and alternative alt tag, it will be product image, and style, it will be styles.img. okay, so okay, colors doesn't exist, of course I need to get the colors, don't worry, it will be just fine. Okay, so now okay, let's roll back here in the top. Of course we need to pass some other properties also to show the style sheet. So style, the bottom here, it will be that container. Okay, so that will be container, and also the style, it will be styles dot image view. So what actually we're doing, the image view, we're giving a width and giving height of half. So full width, half of the height it gonna take, and then it gonna render that image. So let's roll back, go with that. Okay, we are not getting any image. Okay, let's see what we have been done. We're getting the image, we're getting the text. Okay, I will okay, if product data dot image available, okay, I will just remove that condition. Let's see what actually, if we can see something. Okay, it's giving a null properties, means it's not finding the image, means our response is not coming. So let's just log that response if we are receiving anything or not. Okay, in the response, okay, we are not seeing anything. Okay, in that JSON, okay, image source properties is null, so I'm gonna reload that. I think the image is not coming properly, or the data, yeah, we are not seeing the data. Yeah, that's the okay, this one is similar, small mistake, because I need to use that /. Okay, that's just a silly mistake. Okay, that should not be. Okay, now what we can do is that one thing I will complete here is that first let's go here, that loader properties. Okay, so I need to make that properties should be good, so because we can use that loader I means almost everywhere. So remember, in that here we are giving a is loading the text loader. So what I'm gonna do, let's go in the components, I will create loader.tsx rnafe. So that loaders we want to show, so it will be, if it's loading, it will be loader. So right now I will make it false to show my loader, and on the loader we can actually work a bit of things. So from here I'm gonna pass title, oops, it will be title. The first things, it will be the product is loading. So this parameter I'm gonna pass here in my loader. So here I'm gonna catch that, it will be the title, and that title, it will be string. Okay, so now here I'm gonna pass with the condition, oops, it will be the title. If title is there, put the title, otherwise make that loading is running. Okay, so you see the product is loading is showing here. And also I'm gonna just create a style for that, which going to be for that in that container parameters. So it will be const height is equal to dimension dot get, and it will be window. Okay, so the product is loading. So instead of keeping that, I'm gonna wrapping it with a view, and here in that particular title I'm gonna pass a style which going to be text align. I'm gonna make it a center align, so it will be center, and then margin bottom, it will be, I'm gonna make it as 10, because in the below you're gonna put that activity indicator. The color, it will be the colors dot white, default white, and then I'm gonna make it a font size which going to be 16. Okay, and also what I'm gonna do in the top layer of the view, I'm gonna pass a style should be styles dot container. What we are passing in the container, we're giving a height, we are passing a color, background color, which is going to be that opacity of 80. You see the product is loading. So now below that text, what I'm below that text, I'm gonna pass that one activity indicator, and of course I'm gonna import it from that React Native. Okay, now that activity indicator, it's going to be the size which is going to be of the large size, and I'm gonna pass also the color. It will be color, which is going to be colors dot design color. Okay, as you see, okay, that looks good. And in that view, I want that to be particularly in the top, so margin top going to be minus 100. Just put in top. You see the product is loading. So if we come back to the home and if we remove that, now it looks much better. So let's go back to the any details screen. The similar parameter we're gonna use in that product details also. So now what's actually the condition we're gonna render here? See that common header. So in after that common header and the top layer of the view, I'm gonna pass that if its loading is available, then make that loader, otherwise put that parameter. So in the loader, I'm gonna pass that title. It will be title product details is loading. You see, so if we go back again, coming another, okay, that looks fine. Okay, now there will be several other properties. So now what actually we're gonna do, so that's the view where actually we are showing the image. So after that image view, we're gonna pass another parameter. So I'm gonna create another components to implement that, which going to be details view.tsx rnfe. So here I'm gonna show all the details properties, so that will be calling that details view, and in the details view I'm gonna passing that product data is equal to product data. So let's go back to our details view, and in the details view what I'm gonna do is to creating the styles, or actually I'm gonna not generating any styles here right now. So it will be product data, and right now we can actually passing that product props. It will be fine, but we need to just define with that product properties, so which I know what kind of products is that. For right now I'm gonna keep it as any, you can put it as the way you want. So I'm gonna put a style which going to be margin horizontal of 20. Okay, so now in the text parameter what I'm gonna render is that it will be product data dot title. Okay, just to show the title. So iPhone new, and here in the title, and by the way I'm gonna just generating all the properties here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just popping those properties with the colors text. Okay, so first what I did, I'm passing the title, which is giving a font size and font weight and the color of the text block, then giving a brand name, and then giving the category name, then giving how much you're saving. And now we also need to pass a price formats, because it's gonna show us how much we are saving. So first, okay, I'm gonna just copy that, I'm gonna just revert comment out that. Okay, so here I'm gonna show the price view. So for creating the price view, I'm gonna create another for with that, calling that. Okay, so I need to rename, which is going to be, what's wrong? Okay, rename that, it will be price format.tsx rnfe. So there I'm gonna create that price format the way I want to show the price. So here in the price format I'm gonna take that something as an amount, and also I'm gonna take that style. So that two parameter I'm gonna pass, and then the amount which going to be number, and style okay, style going to be any, so that will be the amount. So if the style is available only, that time it going to be any. So now in that product details view, okay, let's just import that one, product format. Okay, so now you see the product format is showing, but it should not be in that way. So let's go in that product format. So instead of that, I'm gonna just get that text, and right now I'll just keep it as 0. So here what I'm gonna do, I need to make that currency format. So let's that const formatted amount, and that amount, it will take a new number. Okay, so it will be the new number, and also it will take the amount and dot to local, I think the local string, and it will be en, which I'm gonna just put an US functionality right now. So style, it will be that currency, and that the currency is going to be USD, and then minimum, oops, it will be minimum fraction digit, it going to be 2. So instead of that, here I'm gonna just pass that formatted amount. So you see the 100 amount saving is already appearing here. I'm gonna okay, here in the style, I'm gonna passing the style, it's just going to become as the parameter. So in that details view, we can actually give some styles. You see color green, format wide of 600. So these things looks perfect. Now here, as we have been done the details view, and now what actually we can do below that view, we can take another view. Now we can create that bottom parameter to show something in a very delicate way. So it will be another view, and here it gonna render a text which going to be coming with that for a price format, and in the price format it will be amount should be product data dot price. Okay, so what's wrong, undefined the number. Okay, so let's go the price format. In the price format, it can be number or it can be undefined. Okay, you see that's the bottom layer is coming. So here what we gonna do is that in the product details view, so in the top view, what we will do is to give a class name which going to be style, and that will be styles dot bottom menu. In the bottom menu, I'm just making a positioning, giving bottom of 60, and then the border width, the border color and width, and just the CSS properties to make it looks like that. Okay, so now as we passing the price formats, we can actually passing the in the text view. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna passing the color format and making it oops, it will be style. Okay, now we see the 100. So that's the one parameter for that, and there should be a 2 parameter. So I'm gonna just copy that. It will be one price, one it will be the previous price format, and here the color it will be normally default white, but text decoration line which going to be line through. Okay, so that's the one. Now so that's the one view parameter. So here after finishing that view, I'm gonna create a pressable, and inside that pressable remember we are already having we will just make that add to cart, actually add to cart. Okay, so in the pressable okay was the string okay, yeah, should not be like that, it should be within a text component. Okay, let's go again. Yeah, so now in the pressable I'm gonna make some colorful combination which going to be background color, which it will be colors dot design color, and then padding horizontal it's going to be 10. I will also make that padding vertical, which also going to be 8, and then border radius going to be 6. Flex direction I will make it as 0, and ln items, not the content. Okay, what's wrong? Yeah, it's here. Items going to be center. So after putting that add to cart, I'm gonna make that arrow right icon. Arrow right icon, and for the arrow right icon, it's going to be the size of 16, and not the 160, it will be 16, and the color, which going to be colors dot text black. Okay, looks fine. For the text, what I'm gonna do, put a style, and it will be the font size, which is going to be 12, and font and font width, it will be 600, and also margin of okay, what's wrong? Margin right going to be 5, and colors dot text black. Okay, so now that things is already done, so we will create another portion which going to be coming on here. That will be once the product data dot is new is available, only then we're gonna implement that. It should be that is new batch. So if we click is new batch, as you see it's in the corner. So now we need to define it actually, so we can actually show so many things. So it will be on arrival, so that's the thing we need to pass. And also we will pass one properties which actually it gonna take the custom style. Now we can pass the custom style. So how actually we are going to implement, we're gonna get that things here. So let's go back to is new here. So remember, so it will be custom style, and it will be the title. We can define a string or any, but right now I'll just pass it as any. So here what I'm gonna do, so if title is there, then it will be the title, otherwise just simply is new. Okay, you see the new variable is approaching here. Now in that here I'm gonna put an arrow, the array, and inside the array I'm gonna also pass that custom style. So the new variable is already applicable. So if I roll back, you see, wow, if I come here, fantastic. So now we are actually going we did measure of the things. So one more things we need to work on, that is that our side menu. So let's go in the side menu and let's see what actually we can do. In the side menu I'm gonna generate a navigation array, so it will be navigation. Now in that navigation array I'm gonna just simply pass the title here. So through the title I'm gonna actually wrapping that things. So in the title what actually we're gonna do, okay, const navigation, it will be any, and use navigation. So instead of navigations I will make that as navigations. So now the similar things I will make it with that safe area view. Okay, safe area view, did you import it from the React? Okay, not from the context, it should be coming from the React Native. Okay, now we're having in the safe area view. So here I'm gonna take another view, and then I'm gonna pass the text parameter. It will just saying press the menu to navigate. Okay, so that's the things we gonna say. And also I'm gonna just get my style. Okay, so that will be my style. So first thing first, in the safe area view I'm gonna pass the style, which is going to be styles.container to give the padding. And for the text, let's go in the text. So style, it will be font size, which going to be 14, and also font weight, which going to be 600, and also I'm gonna make it margin top of 10, and then text align, which going to be center. Okay, so that's one thing done. Or actually I can do one more thing. Let's click, I'm gonna take another view, let's align on that, just make a style, it will be flex direction of row, align items, going to be center, and justify content space between. Okay, so now here I'm gonna take a it will be okay, what kind of icon it should be. Okay, let us go to the I think heroicons.com. Here I'm gonna see what it's going to become for the close. Yeah, X mark icon. Okay, we need to get that X mark icon. X mark icon, and the size going to be 20. Color, I'm gonna give it as a red color. Let's see. Yeah, that X mark icon. Okay, text align center. Okay, I'm gonna make that, yeah, for that margin top, I'm gonna just wrapping that here. So whenever we're gonna click on that or on press on that, or instead of that, we can actually make that on pressable. So whenever we're gonna on press on that, we want to make that navigation dot close drawer. Let's see. Yeah, okay, open drawer or close drawer. What's the React native drawer navigation? Okay, let's see what actually going to be for closing the drawer. Yeah, close drawer. Okay, that's the navigation dot close drawer. That's the same thing we use. Okay, let's try again. Okay, need to remove that. It's not a function, it is undefined. Okay, why it is undefined? Did we not implement that navigation? Okay, constant navigation should be coming from that use navigation, and whenever on pressing that one, we should be able to close the drawer. Okay, let's just go to the header. So what we did here, we just make that open drawer. Okay, the similar parameter we did here, close drawer, on press. Okay, we will fix that one also, but we'll just keep that in that way. Let's see. So now after having that view, we're gonna wrap things with that navigation dot map. So I'm gonna just get the title from there, as we are having only the title. Okay, now I'm gonna pass a pressable, and I'm gonna pass the text parameter, which actually going to get the title, and that title, okay, what is saying any, so it will be okay. We need to define that. String. Okay, what is that? Map. Navigation map is not a function, not the navigation, should be navigations. Okay, so it's actually getting two names, that's the problem. So now for the key, I'm gonna just pass the title, and also styles, which going to be styles dot menu, and for the text parameter, which going to be style, which will be styles dot menu text. So what are the things passing the menu? Giving a background color, margin and the padding, and menu text, color and the text alignment. So if you go back here, you see, so now on that top layer, like on the view parameter, what actually we can do is that we can also make that margin bottom. So instead of margin top and bottom, we can just pass that margin vertical 10. Okay, so vertically 10. And now here, whenever we press on that, on press, it should be okay. Navigate should be in the title. So let's go in the intro. Okay, from where we are getting the pressable? Okay, the pressable is coming from that React Native. So what's actually we are missing? We're getting that use navigation from that use navigation. So it should not be affecting us. But where is actually affecting? So that's navigation having a problem. So whenever we are on pressing on that, what actually we are getting, navigation dot navigate. So on press value, okay, I think what actually we have been done on press, I want to see what's the wrong we have been done. Okay, on press and then navigation dot, oh, not native, yeah. That's the typo mistake. Okay, let's go. Product loading, and now if we go back to the cart, of course we will see nothing. So let's go in the cart. I will just want to use that common header where I'm gonna pass the title. Cart. Okay, so we can go back from here. So now it's time to implement our other properties, which is actually going to be that Redux toolkit. And to use this store, we need to install some of the dependencies which actually going to be responsible to run the store. So okay, let's go to the bash, and from here we are going to be get that. So it will be yarn add. So first thing I'm gonna add is that it will be add, then Redux JS toolkit. So that's the first thing I'm gonna implement, or actually you can go with here, so which I'm gonna give a defined idea. So Redux toolkit, and what actually in the quick start we can get that. So that's the two things I need to get. So I need, we are using yarn, so we need to make that yarn here. And also I'm gonna use another library which actually giving that React Native async storage, and also that one we need to install, and then the Redux persist to manage the persister, we also going to implement that. Okay, so just give it a little bit of time to install those things. Okay, so yarn add, it should be that assign storage, and the last one it will be that Redux persist. Redux persist. So now to implement that Redux here, what I really like in the source, I'm gonna take another folder, I'm gonna just make it the name of Redux just to be easily visualized. I'm gonna create a two file which will be store.js, not the JS, because as we are using the TypeScript, it will be store.ts. okay, and that one is store, and then I will create another file which going to be not the rename, it will be another file which going to be orib slices.ts. Now in the store I need to generate those things to implement that how the store it going to be run. As we are going to create, first I'm gonna create the slices, then because I'm gonna inject everything all together. If you're in my channel, you may know how actually we are going to creating the Redux and how we are supporting that, so it's not that much doubtful to create that. So now here I'm gonna make that initial state, which going to be that one product data. So that data initially it's going to be empty, okay, not the, it will be the clone sign. And also I'm gonna define the state for that. So interface, it will be store state, and that is store state, it will be that product data, and that product data it will be that product props of the array of products props. So initially that's the things, oops, it will not be store state, so that's the state, it's the initial state. And here I'm gonna define that export const or be slice, and that slice it's going to be take the create slice, and then we're gonna pass an object on that. So the name it will be orb, and then I will give that initial state. Then I'm gonna create that reducers. So in the reducers, first thing first, I'm gonna define those parameters of add to cart, increase, decreasing, delete product, and receipt card. So I'm gonna having those four I think the 5 reducers. So how actually we are injecting those reducers? First thing first, you see the add to cart, we're giving a reducer of the state and action. Now if you're still having a doubt, there is a lot of video in the channel on me, so you can find how we are implementing that reducers and how we are injecting it. And if you have any doubt, let me know in the comments below, where I'm gonna help you. And please do subscribe and like the video. So now what we are doing, so we are just getting that existing product from that state.product data for find. So we are finding it with that id, and if that action.payload id is matching with that the products which we have in the state, then it's the existing product. And if we have that existing product, we are just increasing the quantity, and if not the existing product, we are getting the full product. So means whenever you have one product, first it will just set all the products together. If it's the second time is pressing, it will just increase the quantity. So now it's the increasing quantity, same parameter is happening, just increasing the quantity means the increasing the quantity equal to 1, or minus minus is for the decreasing. And for the increasing, it should be just where is the increasing? Yeah, for increasing we're just making quantity plus plus, and for decreasing we are making the quantity minus minus. The delete product, we are passing an id in the action.payload, and we are deleting with that id. And receipt card, we are just putting that empty card. And here we will just make that export const, and here we're gonna pass that parameter add to cart, and the increase quantity, decrease quantity, delete oops, it will be delete product, and also receipt card. And that it's going to be coming from that orb slice dot actions. And also export, the default export it will be orb slice dot reducer. So now that is our slice, and of course I keep it in a wrong place. It should be here in the orb slices, not in the store. Yeah, I know I'm doing it the faster way, because that actually we covered in a lot of video, so you can actually having an idea already. So now we are just passing that orb slices. Now we will go to the store to like the fourth on the store, how actually we're gonna set all together with a synchronous storing separator. So now here we're gonna just make that export const, and that will be our store. So that it will configure store, which we need to import from that Redux toolkit. Again, passing an object on that, the reducer, we need to pass the reducer. So the reducer is going to be orb, and inside that orb reducer we need to create that persistor and other parameter. And to get the persist reducer, what we're gonna make, that we're gonna make as a persist config. So that config, it will be an object. So the key, it will be root, and then storage, it's going to be async storage, which I'm gonna import from that async storage which we have been installed. And then the timeout, oops, it will be timeout, I'm gonna put it as 0. So that is the persist config we are having here. So now we're gonna make that persist reducer, which actually going to be that persist reducer, which we need to import from that persist reducer. Okay, not that, I think it will be the not from the persist reducer, which we need to import from that Redux persist. Okay, yeah, from the Redux persist. Okay, so that persist reducer, and okay, I will make another name, persistent reducer, otherwise it will be the similar name. And here I'm gonna pass that persist config, and also I'm gonna pass one more parameter, which is going to be my slices. So it will be import orib slices from the slices of orib. So it will be passing that orib slices. Okay, so now in that my store font on the orib, it will be that persistent reducer which we gonna inject. So that will be my reducer, and as we are using in the app, we need to also pass the middleware. So in the middleware, I'm gonna pass that get default middleware. So it will be okay, DEFA, get default middleware, which actually we need to inject on that. So it will be get default middleware, and here you need to pass that get default middleware, and I will just put that serializable false. That's it. So now what actually we can do, we can export it. So export const, it will be persistor, and that persistor, it's gonna be that persisted persist, not that I think persist store, yeah, which we need to import also from that. So that persisted store also going to be coming from here, that Redux persist. Okay, so that's the persistor. So and that persistor going to inject with the store, and also I'm gonna make that export const get dispatch equal to, we will make it as an arrow function, which it will be return is return store dot dispatch. So now our store is ready to go. So we need to inject that store. Remember, we are having our app router, sorry, the app file where actually we are injecting everything. So here in that root content, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna wrap it with that provider which going to be imported from React Redux. Okay, that's the provider. And also we need to okay, and in the provider you will pass the store as store. Okay, so if we did everything right, we will be able to, okay, what's actually saying could not be found the project in this directories. Okay, so let's go to our package, maybe it's not installed. Okay, assign storage, okay, it's already there. I think it's supposed to be on what actually we have been done. We need to make to let it go in another time. Yeah, okay, so what we can do, we can just run that command which we have been done before several times, npm reset cache. So it gonna refetch everything and install all from all over. That's the problem happening, especially in the Windows. If you're installing something, it just giving up with that. So we will just run that again. Okay, it's bundling again. So let's see if install. I think it will not give that error, because what's actually happening, if you go to the documentation, you see we need to make linking for that pod and other things. So whenever we are installing those kind of things which related to the pod linking or other, better to just reset and start again, and it will be just working from the top. I think that is the issue only. And if any other issue, just let's debug if we can find. Okay, no more things popping up. I think, yeah, that was the only issue. Okay, let's close all, and we're gonna working with our particular things, like on that adding those things. So one more thing I want to add in the app, so which actually going to be our toaster. Okay, so I'm gonna use another library to implement, which it will be yarn add. It will be that React Native toast masses to showing the toaster. So here, after that root content, I'm gonna just make that const toast. It will be toast config. Okay, const toast config. I'm gonna pass an object on that. Here I'm gonna passing with that parameter, which will be success, and that success, it will take the props. I'm gonna declare any props to be taken, and here I'm gonna make that base toast, which going to be there. Okay, so in that base toast, I'm gonna passing everything as the props, and also it will take that. Okay, need to get the colors. Okay, so the style, which going to be giving the design color and passing the props, and text one is style going to be that style. So that's the simple parameter I want to pass, and after that, below that root content, I'm gonna pass that toast, and that toast, the config, it going to be taking that toast config, and also position, I'm gonna make it as in the bottom, and also visibility time, which going to be 2000, means 2 milliseconds. Okay, so what's happening in the config, props any void is not assignable to toast config. Okay, what is the wrong toast config? What did it wrong? Yeah, it is the okay. That's the success strategy we are passing. So the props, any props, yeah. Okay, so we are spreading the props, and what is the wrong? It's not assignable to scan property success. Oh, okay, I think SUCC, yeah. So that's the problem. So we are passing that. Okay, still success props incompatible with index signature, type any void is not assignable the parameter. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna get all the parameters here. Okay, yeah, because I missed that return parameter. Yeah, okay, so now we are having that toast, so we can show the toast whenever we are adding that product. So let's roll back to the home, and in the home, remember, we are having that product, not the product, but the icon we are having. So it will be here in the touchable opacity. So now here I want to create a functional event here. So first thing first, I'm gonna get that dispatch event. So it will be dispatch, and that use dispatch. So now I'm gonna dispatch an event here, which is going to be making it as add to cart. So it will be dispatch and then add to cart, and I'm gonna passing all over the item. And after that also, I'm gonna make that toast dot show, and that show it gonna make that type as a success. Okay, it will be inside an object. So okay, and the toast one, it will be, I'm gonna passing with a backtick parameter. Okay, the backtick, so it will be item dot title, and then I'm gonna pass that added successfully. Okay, so if everything is okay, what's wrong with that? Item dot title invalid hook, hooks only be called inside the body of a function component. okay, inside a body of a function component, where actually we are depending that okay, we are passing that in a render item. Okay, that's my bad, it should be in the top level. Okay, so now if we click, you see iPhone 14 added and iPhone 15 added. So let's go back to header. So now in the header we need to show the product, so it will be in a both layer of the header. So I know where actually my product is lying, so it will be coming from that product data, and that product data it will coming from that use selector. And here I'm gonna get a state, I'm gonna just pass any to get the error out, and that is state.orb. So there actually I'm getting that product data, and so I will write a condition here. So if product data dot length is bigger than 0, then it gonna be passing that product data dot length, or otherwise it gonna passing us the 0. As you see, 2 is available. But if I go back here, there is nothing showing. The similar parameter I need to get with the common header. So in the common header also I need to pass that parameter, and for those things I need to declare my product data. So let's go here. Okay, getting that use selector. You see, 2 is available. If I come back home, there is the product data. So let's go back to the card. Now it's time to initialize the card, but also one more things we can implement, which we have been done here. That parameter also it gonna go with that product details screen, remember, where actually we are showcasing our product. So this add to cart button is also going to be implementing the same parameter. So it will be the pressable, and we will make that add to cart, and we will make that toast, and there will be not the item, it will be the product data. So this parameter it will be the product data. So now here one more things we need to get, cons dispatch, which actually going to coming from that use dispatch hook. So if we click, iPhone new added successfully. So if I coming on the product data as in the cart, remember, which actually we have been taken in the header, so that's where actually my product is lying. So let's roll back to the cart. We are going to get those things, so I'm gonna get my cart here. Okay, so that's my product data will be overlying here. So now I need to pass an scroll view. Okay, so it will be a scroll view, and of course that scroll view is not going to coming from the handler, it will come from that React Native. Okay, so in the scroll view what I'm gonna do is that for right now I'm gonna passing a condition. So it will be the product data dot length, if it's bigger than 0, I'm gonna passing a text hello, and if it's not, means there is no product, then I'm gonna pass something. So what I'm gonna pass is that I'm gonna pass a view parameter. In the view I'm gonna pass a text for right now to show something. Right now it will not show because there is the product, so it will be your cart is empty. Okay, so that will be now hello is coming because I'm having the product. So to now get all things done, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get that in the okay, so the product data is length is available. So here I'm gonna on that empty string I'm gonna get a view which going to be showing my cart product. So I will take another components, and here it will be product.tsx rnfe. Now I will just take that cart product here, and inside here on that okay Actually not like that, because I need to map through that. So it will be the product data dot map. Okay, so the item which going to be product props, and now I'm gonna return that cart product, and here I'm gonna pass the key. It will be item.id, and also the item I'm gonna pass that item. Now as you see, I have 3 products, so I am having that 3 cart product. So in the cart products, I'm just gonna passing that item, and right now also I can actually define with that. So it can be definable with that. I can make it as the item, or right now I know what's the item it would be. I'm gonna just pass any value, and also I'm gonna make that dispatch. It will coming from that use dispatch hook. So now what actually I'm gonna make is that to show the data layer. Did I have an image? I think so. Yeah, I'm gonna show the image, then all the other things it should be appear here. Okay, so to implement that, first thing first, I need to make that things is okay. I'm gonna get one more view here, then I'm gonna get my image. First I'm gonna render the image to have a more view. So in the image it should be source, and it will be URI item.image, and that will be the style. I'm gonna give a width of 80, and also the height of 80. Let's see if we can see the image. Yeah, image is showing right now. So in the top layer I'm gonna popping up some style which going to give a padding and the color combination. So the padding, it's just vertical 2, you see, and also the horizontal 5, and the color and margin bottom 10 as a simple color combination to be appear. So now here I'm gonna make it as a flex direction of row, and then align items which going to be center, and also I'm gonna give a width of 180. It's because after that image I'm gonna get a view tag, and there I'm gonna give a text. Oops, it will be a text where actually I'm gonna show that item dot title. You see the title, and also I'm gonna make that substring where I'm gonna make limited with that 12 character, and after that I'm gonna render that text. It will be item dot brand. Okay, so now for that text style, which going to be color, going to be colors dot text black, and font weight which also going to be 800. That's it. So that's my brand color. And now what it's going to be happen, so that's the image parameter is done. So now I need to popping up the other parameter, which actually going to be, let's put a view, and here I'm gonna make a pressable, and inside that pressable it will be minus icon, and that icon it will be the size going to be 16, and the color should be colors dot text black. You see that icon, it's appeared already. So in that here I'm gonna also make one style which going to be flex the similar pattern. I'm gonna just giving that flex direction of row, align center, and also the border parameter. So here I'm gonna make a text, and inside the text it will be rendering on that which going to be what actually I'm gonna pass that item dot quantity. Okay, so quantity is 1, and oops, it will be outside of pressable, not inside the pressable. Okay, quantity 1, and this pressable also going to be generated here, and not the -1, it will be a plus icon. Okay, so I am having the two icon, and both icon gonna dispatch the quantity. So how actually we can dispatch? In that menu we can just generate one function. It will be that dispatch. It will be first one is minus, so it will be decrease quantity, and we need to pass that item. That's it. So now it will starting to decreasing the quantity, and also if in the plus icon, instead of decreasing, it gonna increase the quantity. If we click, you can see it's changing, because if we just make that array with slices, what's the function we have been done is increase quantity. We take the state and action. We are passing that existing item. So what we are saying, if there is existing item, only if there is existing item available, make it plus plus. But now in the minus also, if existing item available, make it minus minus. Otherwise, if existing quantity is equal to 1, means 1, it will not increase decrease below than 1. So that's the simple condition, making that things beautifully crafted and done. So now if we can see, that's the view is passed here. After that view, I will take another text parameter, so it will be the text. What's wrong? Okay, so now here we're gonna make that price format. So inside that price format, what we will do is that make that amount which going to be item dot price into item dot quantity. So that's the amount we are showcasing here. And now also for the style, color should be colors dot text black, and font weights going to be 600. Okay, so that's simply done. And after the text, we will take another pressable icon, and here it's going to be trash icon. So in the trash icon, the size going to be 20, and also the color, it should be colors dot text black. Okay, so now we are having a pressable icon. Here we're gonna dispatch another function. So on press, it would be dispatch delete product. Remember, we are deleting product with just passing that item dot underscore id. So if we click, we can delete a single product. So now it's a very like a simple way how we can actually show that one. So if we roll back to our cart, so that's the cart product we have. Also I want to pass something. It will be that container style, which going to be padding bottom. I'm gonna give 100, and I'm gonna make a margin of 10. Okay, that's cool. So now I have two products, so I can see two products. If I increase the quantity, wow, it's increasing properly. And now one more thing is that I increase the same product. You see, I am adding the same product, it's just increasing the quantity but not adding a new product. Like similar way, if we just go in another product, okay, that one I'm pressing twice. Let's go. We see two quantities available. I can increase, I can delete. So now in the cart, as we are having those pattern, so that view is done. So after that view, I'm gonna take another view, and that's view also. Let's just get another view and then another text which going to passes that subtotal. Okay, we are going to create this below portion. So in the subtotal, now in the top layer of that parameter, put a style, and that style going to be background color. It will be colors dot default white, and padding going to be 20. Okay, and that particular div, it will be style flex direction going to be row, and then align items going to be center, justify content space between. So one is that, and another portion it's going to be get the text, what actually going to show that price format. And in the price format right now I'll just put one amount, just a default amount I'm putting. So now in the subtotal it will be the style, okay, font size going to be 16, and the color should be colors dot text block. And also for the text parameter, which going to be style, font size going to be 16, and font weight going to be 600, and the color going to be colors dot text block. Okay, so now that would be one portion. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna copy it several times because I need to initialize the several parameter. So that's the one. So it will be, I think, how many we are having, let's see the image, we're having 3, so it will be 3 parameter, 2 3. Okay, one is subtotal and other parameters we gonna inject. So that's the subtotal. After subtotal we gonna passing the discount. Okay, so in the discount what I'm gonna do is that also going to yeah, so the discount amount it will be also showing that, and for the total amount it will be little bit different. So that will be that, not okay, that will be for the total amount. Total, in the total amount I'm gonna make it 18, and also for the total amount text I'm gonna make it as 18, just to show it a little bit bigger. And for the discount we can actually, and how it's we are showing, okay, discount we're changing the tag parameter, so it will be removing that, and also we are giving a minus sign. Yeah, I think that much is possible. Yeah, okay, so now we need to get 3 portion. One is that subtotal, one is discount amount, one is the total amount. And how actually we can do it, let's go in the top. We're gonna take several properties. So first thing first, we're gonna get okay, we're gonna use this state hook. Oops, I think it's getting the twice. We're actually gonna setting the total amount, and one is would be the discounted amount. And in the use effects, what we're gonna render is that, okay, so here in the dependency we're gonna just keep it the similar way. So now here what actually it going to be happen, so let amt the amount it going to be 0, okay, 0. Let discounted amt also going to be 0. Okay, so now here we're gonna make that product data dot map. So in the product data, of course, we're gonna get that items which will be the product props. And here what actually we're gonna do is amount should be, and it will be the plus and equal to item dot price into item dot quantity. So now first amount we are giving all amount, so without the discount, and then the discounted amt it should be item dot discount, item dot it should be price, previous price, item dot price into item dot quantity is the amount, the total amount should be, and the previous amount, let me see one more time the design. Okay, 5,800. Okay, so all price, so that would be okay, Okay, we're gonna fix that if we are having anything. Dot quantity. Okay, so that's the amount, and after that we will just simply return, and here we're gonna set total amount. It should be the amount of it will be amount, and set discounted price. It will be discounted amount. So the discounted amount going to be coming on that. So let's go head back to our parameter. Actually this one is wrong. Yeah, this should be the previous price, you know, and that should be the actual price, because the previous price going to be my total amount and discounted price going to be my, that's the discounted amount, total amount. So here in that subtotal I'm gonna passing that total amount. So it's 7,600, means altogether include without the discount, and the discount amount should be that total amount minus discounted price, right? So that's the possibility, and here in that price it would be my discounted price, so whatever the discount I'm getting, right? So that is, I think, make a lot of sense. And it's also in the total layer I'm gonna just put that margin, oops, it will be margin vertical, which going to be 5. Okay, I think it's now making a lot of sense and it's actually working. So now here in that price circulation is done. So now what actually we gonna do, so that is our view. So in that view I'm gonna get another one which is going to be touchable opacity, and here I'm gonna say is that proceed to checkout. Yeah, proceed to checkout, or I'm gonna keep it small, checkout. Okay, so in that button I'm gonna just put some design, which actually I'm gonna keeping a blue color with a button color. Okay, putting a colors of button blue, and that padding and border radius and other properties. And in the style of the text style should be color, it would be colors dot default white, and font size going to be 16, and font weight going to be 600. Okay, proceed to checkout. And another parameter is the same similar way we're gonna create, but in that parameter the color it will be the default white, and the color it should be the text black. And instead of that we will make additional is that border width going to be 1 and the border color should be that colors dot light text, and that one it should be saying continue shopping. Okay, so continue shopping, whenever we are clicking on that, so it will be on press. Did we keep that navigation here? No, not yet. So const navigation, use navigation, and that navigation it gonna contain oops, it will be not that navigation props. Okay, so now we can actually render through those things. So what we gonna do is that, or actually we are, yeah, so it will be navigation dot navigate. We're gonna just pass that to the home so they can continue shopping. Let's roll back here. So in the proceed to checkout we're gonna roll up several things, which actually we're gonna pass that is not yet done. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna just make that whenever on press on it we're gonna pass something on that toast dot show, in that toast we're gonna just pass the type and we're gonna pass some message. Okay, not that. Inside an object we're gonna pass a type of error. Text1 should be please logging to initialize the checkout. Text color should be red and the text to logging feature is on progress, please wait. The color should be black. If we click not on that, it should be in the proceed to checkout. You see, please logging to initialize the checkout. So now what if I remove all the products? Remember, we created some field but we didn't finish that, so that's the portion we will create right now. So now in this style we will make that flex 1 and also background color, which going to be colors dot default white, and padding going to be 20. And for the text, just pass some style. It will be that font size going to be 16, and the color it should be colors dot default white, and text align it should be center, and also font weight which is going to be 600. Okay, text black should be, yeah. Now what I will do, I will just get that same parameter, this continue shopping, it should be just back to shopping. So that same button I'm gonna just copy and here I'm gonna paste. So continue shopping, or it will be back to shopping. That's it. And here what's the one of the parameter I'm gonna use, that margin top, which is going to be margin top 20. Yeah, see, that's cool. So if we go another, okay, product details is loading. If we go to the simple similar one, okay, if we click, product is loading. And also if we just simply go on that, we can add more products, and from here we can now go back to the cart and we can add more product, but it's not changing, the data is not changing because we need to use the dependency. So in the cart, remember in the use state where actually we are setting those things down, we need to pass the dependency as the product data, otherwise it will not show. You see, now it's changing. And if we remove one, okay, two, okay, so let's go back to the shopping. I'm gonna use one only, 1100. So if we just increase one, you see it's working perfectly. Okay, so one more thing is that we need to implement. Okay, let's just add some more product just to see whenever we gonna add several products, how actually it gonna affect. Okay, okay, you see, and it's scrolling perfectly. Okay, so that's the feature we have been looking for to finish. So now it will be our first part where actually we finish those things, but in our next part what actually we are going to mandatorily be doing is that to creating that checkout positioning, to how we can create a successful checkout, and then how actually we can make things done like creating that user and addresses, add contact info and others. So for today's build, that's it. So in our next build we're gonna finish that other parameter, and of course if you like that video and if it's helping you, then do subscribe and like the video. And of course in our next video we'll see you around with something special.